What's going on, Megan here? Back. Sorry, guys, I had to take a break. It's obviously spring break, so that's why I'm back. And it's always like this, right before spring break. I normally take breaks because things get hectic. You have the last the midterms, the exams, and things like that. But it's officially spring break, so I'm back to answering you guys' questions. Again, don't forget, even when I don't make videos, I still reply to questions in my inbox and in the comment section. Sometimes. So always keep the questions coming. I try my best to stay active, because there's nothing worse than having your question pending for months. All right, so now one of the themes that I've noticed, right? This video is not gonna be on bodybuilding; it's gonna be on just life stuff, right? One of the things that I noticed the most in the questions I'm getting is this is fucking depressed season. Everyone is fucking depressed, like almost everyone, right? Um, and I see the patterns. You guys know I have an eye for patterns. I see exactly why because again, I've been through that phase. When it comes to depression, man, I my oldest friends know what I'm talking about, man. I used to be depressed all the fucking time, right? And again, like I would say, this is why I love knowledge so much because knowing the right thing can literally take you out of a shitty situation, that somebody will have to take medicine for, or drugs for, and things like that. No, it's simply knowing, through trial and error what works. And once you find that little tweak, everything changes. And my cure for, people that say I'm depressed, I have no motivation. I mean, that's like 90% of the questions I get, right? My cure for that is it's not drugs. It's not, no, again, unless you have like a severe case, of like clinical depression, then, that's a whole different story. Where you have imbalances in your serotonin levels and things like that. But I'm talking about like people that just lost the desire to, to conquer life. They lost their motivation, they lost their will. They're just, same shit, different day. That's people I'm referring to, right? They're just waiting for that spark. They know that deep down inside, they're monsters, they're beasts. They're just lacking the spark to set them going. Right? Those are the people that that I'm referring to, because that's what I experienced. The the cure is always the same. I always say it's all about atmosphere. It's all about soil. That's why I use the seed analogy so fucking much. Right? I always talk about the seed because really you could use a seed and tree analogy to explain almost everything in life. And back to the seed analogy for the guys who haven't heard it before, it's simply take a seed, put it in your pocket. What happens? Nothing, right? You could go for years. The seed just remains a seed. You will assume that something is wrong with the seed. You would think, oh, why is it not, doing what it's supposed to do? Why is it not becoming a tree? You would blame the seed when really it's not the seed. It's the environment it's in. What do I mean? You take the same seed out of your pocket, you put it into the right soil, the right climate, the right atmosphere. What happens? It becomes a tree. And eventually that tree becomes a forest. So the only difference between a seed and the forest is really location, right? It's really soil. It's really atmosphere. That's why I would say find your soil, find your throne. I use all these different names for it, but it's really find the environment, the atmosphere. It doesn't have to be a physical location, but it could be, again, a group of people. It could be a career. It could be uh, a physical location, whatever. But find the environment in which you thrive. Find the environment that brings out the forest that is inside your seed. You know, and most people have this misconception. They think, well, I'm comfortable the way I am now. I'm getting paid. I'm paying my bills. Just because you're comfortable doesn't mean that's the place where you belong. You know what I mean? Like, for example, the seed is comfortable in my pocket. It's not being damaged. It's not being destroyed. It's comfortable, but guess what? As long as it stays there, nothing happens, right? I would say it has to go into the depth of the ground. It has to go into the darkness of the ground, and that's where it's going to find the nutrients and everything it needs to become the best version of itself. So location is everything. So when you hear me say location, I'm not always referring to, like a country or a city. I mean atmosphere. Right? So that's why it's so important for you guys to take the self mastery quiz. I've been telling you guys for years. That's what took me out of depression when I sat there and I literally kept writing down. I mean, I kept writing down a bunch of questions just to find out more about myself, just to find out. Because in order for me to find the location in which I was going to thrive, I had to know what kind of seed I was, right? An apple seed doesn't grow in Africa, right? Potatoes don't grow everywhere. You got to know not seeds don't grow the same in every single ground. You should know that. It's not, you know, rocket science. So I had to sit there and compile a bunch of questions that I just kept asking myself and I kept quizzing myself. It's kind of like when you're playing a video game, right? You have to know the character statistics. You have to know its offensive strengths, the defensive strengths. If you're playing an RPG game, you have to know all of these things, right? It gives you the ability to use that character more efficiently. In the same way, in order to use your body and your mind more efficiently, you have to know your stats, your characteristics, right? I can make a whole separate video on that. But again, that self-mastery quiz, I call it a self-mastery because it's about mastering yourself, right? Really put me on the map in terms of like finding out what I thrive in, where I belong, what I should be doing, what I should be focusing on, what I should stay away from, you know? Because in life, people will give you the shittiest advice, man. They'll just give you advice that's gonna give you the most money. They're like, oh, go ahead and do this, pick this career, do this, do that, just to chase the money. But they'll never tell you that, you know, yeah, you have the money, but you come home depressed as fuck. You know, you come home unhappy. You know, there are billionaires who are unhappy. You know, don't get me wrong, money is great, but if you're not happy, what's the point? So a lot of times we make decisions based on, oh, I'm just doing this because I'm getting paid. I'm just doing this because it pays more. But yet you're miserable, right? Wouldn't you want to make 80, you know, let's say 30% less, 20% less, just to be happier, you know? Because that's all it boils down to. Why do we want money? We want money because we want to buy things that make us happy. So why would you chase money if it puts you in an environment where you're not happy? You know. But anyway, so again, guys, do the self mastery quiz. Take the self mastery quiz. I have again, I have over 500 questions. I was doing that shit for years until I eventually found the specific questions. You know, I narrowed it down to like 10 or 15 questions that I look at in my daily routine. I try to do it once a month. You know, if not every morning, to just make sure that I'm in the right location in terms of atmosphere and in case of in terms of bringing out the best that I am. So do that, guys. That's really gonna help. A lot of times we think we're depressed. You're not depressed, motherfucker. A lot of times you're just in the wrong place. Wrong atmosphere, right? And again, how do I find the right atmosphere? Take that quiz. It's free. It's something simple. I made a ton of videos about that. If you want, I could make new series on there where I make a video for every single question, how to find the answers and things like that. But once you have those answers, now you can solve the problem, at its root. For example, if you find out that you thrive around people, then why the fuck are you doing like, I don't know, computer science or some shit where you're always in your room or always in a cubicle looking at numbers? Or if you find that people drain you and you're one of the type of people that loves being alone and that loves, like a big introvert, then obviously your environment will have some of these characteristics, So it's not much the quiz is not going to tell you exactly, hey, go ahead and do this. No, it brings you closer and closer to where you should be as opposed to where you shouldn't be, And I had this problem for years, guys. I had this problem for years where I was like, well, I'm good at a lot of things. I know a lot of things, but what should I focus on? And this is what the self-mastery quiz does. All right, guys, this video is too long. I just want to get this out the way because a lot of people are blowing me up in terms of, relating to this topic. I'm depressed. There's something wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with you. It's everything about your environment, your atmosphere. All right? So I hope this helps. Again, comment below if you want me to make more videos on the self-mastery quiz. I mean, there's past videos on this. You could go back and look them up, but if you want a new perspective, let me know. I'll make more. But really, hope this helps. I'm back in business until school starts up again. And comment your questions below. Thumb up the video. See you in the next one.